And so I would play that with Scar on top of the mantle and Mufasa hanging off of the fireplace mantle. And I'd be like, long live the king. And I would let the thing go and crash smack down to the floor. And I was like, oh, that wasn't good enough. So
In a world where two siblings create epic productions of monumental proportions.
Wait, what is this, Hollywood? No, this is Hillywood.
Oh, sorry. Please welcome the creators of The Hillywood Show and your hosts, Hilly and Hannah Hindi, as they discuss Hillywood and beyond. This is Beyond Hillywood.
All right, give us a countdown.
Wait. Do I have lipstick on my teeth?
No.
Okay. Welcome back, fam,
To another episode of Beyond Hillywood
podcast.
Yeah.
Da. And again, Hannah, why don't you give a little shout out?
Thank you so much to Roy RC for the amazing voiceover that we have at the beginning. It just makes our podcast sound all the more epic.
Yes, because again, like I said, we cannot do voices like that.
No.
I don't think my voice could ever go that low.
I
Like
can
yours?
do a pretty good Batman.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. All right, so today the topic is all about fandoms and our favorite fandoms.
yes.
So I think we should just start off right away.
All right,
Let's start from when
kick
we were
that ball.
For when we were wee little ones.
Wee little ones. So I think my first favorite fandom was Batman, the old television show of Batman, and I used to sit and watch with my dad, and that was my obsession. I had Batman
Same
t-shirts.
bat time,
Same bat channel. Will Batman and Robin be saved? No, how's it go?
Batman, pow, black, Shazam. Those were good. Those were good sound effects. Yeah.
And I used to like when I would the phone would spin.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I watched Batman and I had the toys, I had a Batmobile, I had the t-shirts, and then I was into the Flash for a little while.
Yeah, you had your Flash phase.
But that was me on my own because you were too little at that point. So I was in the Batman phase, sadly, by myself playing. And then as we got older, we kind of have really been picky and choosy with our fandoms. It's not like everything is our favorite when it was a new video that had come out. Or I mean, not a video, but a cartoon or a show.
We were, well, oh my God, I was obsessed. I don't even know if it was a fandom then, but I was obsessed, and this is going to make me sound really old, with the Munsters.
Oh, yeah.
And if you had TV, oh yeah, John! Yeah, our guy in the booth, John, is giving me a fist pump. The Munsters was on TV Land. And it was about a family of monsters who didn't know they were monsters, and so.
But everybody else was sadly uglier than them.
Yeah,
all
they
the
thought
normal
they were the
people.
superior. And every episode, you'd go into town, and the normal people would faint in fright.
Yes.
And that theme song is. Okay, copyright. We're gonna get copyright. Stop it. Stop that. Oh my God.
You
I
loved that
freaking-
for a very long time.
Yes, and my grandma would record it on VHS for me so that I
VHS
didn't
kids.
ever miss an episode.
And you could rewind it and watch it again.
So it's weird, like, for me specifically, I mean, I was only 4, and I was obsessed with TV like that. Like, that's a bit odd.
Yeah, it was kind of like old
Yeah,
shows,
yeah.
like Batman, The Munsters.
Yeah.
And then
Was it, okay, we were the Captain Fandom queens of The Lion King.
The Lion King was a huge part of our life.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God. And we had, no. Okay, wait. We have to start. We have to say what we had. We had the cassette tape of the soundtrack. Cassette tape. And we would listen to it and play with our Lion King toys.
And sing along.
And just recreate
and
it.
act it out.
And act it out with our toys. We had
a tent, a Lion King tent.
Lion King tent.
We had Lion King wall stickers that were huge. We had a Lion King comforter. We had a Lion King
shoes
and
matching
shirts.
shoes.
I had the entire collection from McDonald's.
We had gone to McDonald's so much for the toys that we had like 3 of the same Simbas.
We had like 3 Nalas.
It's like the 3 of the same toys.
Yeah.
We then put all of our Lion King toys in a Lion King duffel bag.
Oh my God! How did you? Oh,
it was a green.
How do you remember
and it was
that?
Simba on his side.
Yeah, and he was laying down.
Yeah, and it was a green
my
duffel bag.
God.
And we would take him to Yaya's house, and we'd play at her house, and we'd have the little soundtrack. Yeah, no, it was obsession, like absolute obsession.
Mm-hmm. But why was it oh my God, why was it an obsession? And it's because I entered a contest when the movie.
Oh my God, here we go again with the contest.
When the movie was being created, they had a contest asking for kids to color a photo. And what was it? Was it from?
It was just
but who was the people who put out the contest? Was it a mail-in?
Was it like Sonic Burger or something?
No, that wasn't. That was another contest.
Oh my gosh!
No, this one I think was actually a mail-in from Disney.
It was,
and they were asking kids to color in a photo.
It was just like a coloring book
and
sheet.
both me and her entered.
I of course lost.
And
I've never won a contest in my life.
And this was before trailers were really a thing, and I had never seen a trailer, but I colored Scar dark orange just 'cause. And apparently I think that made me a winner because I won, and they gave me like 8 tickets to go see the movie. But I remember I didn't enjoy it because we were right at the front of the theater, and I was so little and so small, and Simba was so huge, like I couldn't even see the scene. And I do recall that I didn't really enjoy it the first time around.
I just remember the theater was packed.
Packed. Like tons of children everywhere. Yeah. So that's why the obsession started was, oh my God, you won. And I have the photo of me holding the tickets, and I'm like in like.
You do?
Yeah, I'm wearing Dalmatian shorts though. Because
we did Dalmatians.
101 Dalmatians was also a big thing in the Hindi household.
Yes.
We loved the cartoon 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah. We had more than anything with 101 Dalmatians, we had a lot of clothes. Mm-hmm. It was like shorts and shirts and like pajamas and onesies that had like dog
ears.
Then
we had the McDonald's. Oh my God, the Disneyland Dalmatian
hats.
It had like a schnoz on the front.
It had like a nose on the brim of the hat and like these big ears.
That was a big to do. Another big to do.
Oh, we had a Simba backpack. Don't forget about the backpack.
We had everything. Lion King, everything.
But it was not like a backpack with Simba. It was an actual lion cub, like the Yoda backpacks.
Yeah,
like it would go on.
Simba.
It was little Simba.
It was so cute. But we would rewatch that cassette tape. I don't know how it didn't tear one of these days. We watched it over and over and over and over and over again.
And you would play with your toys. Remember your story of...
Yeah, I would play dramatically with my toys on my mantle fireplace. And I would always get to the scene where Mufasa and Scar, wow, it's really hard to remember their names when you're not talking about it all the time. Mufasa and Scar have their dramatic moment of long live the king. Yeah. And he lets go, and Mufasa falls. And so I would play that with Scar on top of the mantle and Mufasa hanging off of the fireplace mantle. And I'd be like, long live the king. And I would let the thing go and crash smack down to the floor. And I was like, oh, that wasn't good enough. So I'd pick up Mufasa again. I would
of course not. Shun, do you see where the filmmaking comes in? That was not good enough. Let me do it 30 times.
So I would put him back and I would do it again. Long live the king. Not good enough. Dang it. That would and I would do it over and over because I think in a sense, Twisted Child, I like enjoyed that dramatic moment.
I know when people hate that. Hilly likes the drama.
It was like, for me, dramatic and emotional and, it makes everybody sad. And I don't know why, like, those were moments when I would play the story of the Lion King that I would really spend time on. Because then I was like, yeah, I'm going to be king, woohoo, da-da-da. And then the end fight. Like, that was me. It was just like, get past all the boring stuff. Let's get into the battle and the drama. And yeah, I used to play like that and do it over and over again. Mm-hmm. Fast forwarding a little bit to our tweens and teens, we were obsessed. And I don't know if our viewers who are listening or our YouTubers who are watching know this. And I know it's going to take you by surprise of me mentioning it because we didn't talk about that we were going to mention this.
Okay.
Number one, we grew up in a Christian household. We still are Christians. We were hugely into Carmen.
Oh, yes.
Carmen was a Christian artist, and he was, I want to say it, the first cool Christian artist who started rapping and singing about Jesus. And he took the world by storm. I kid you not. Kid you not. I kid you not.
I kid you not.
I kid you not. Let's make that a shirt. Kid you not. I kid you not. Carmen was everywhere on every Christian radio station.
He would pack out the Thomas and Mack in Vegas.
And the thing about Carmen that was cool, his tickets were for free.
Yes.
He would never charge. He would say, if anything, go buy my CD, and then that will go back into
helping
my
me
shows.
Doing the next record.
Kind of like Hillywood. Yeah. All he would put his money into was putting the concerts and records. But he wanted it for free so that anybody, homeless people, strangers could come in and honestly feel that what's it called? Is it revival? What I'm trying to say. That revival for Jesus. And it was so cool because back then it was like viewed as Christianity is cool. And it's not.
And it is. Like, and it wasn't, you listen to some of his old stuff, if you don't know, banging, it's so good. Like, so it wasn't like, holy. Like, it's not that. It's like he would actually do
storytelling.
Stories like The Champion. And like that was a huge one about like it's a boxing ring between God and the
Satan,
devil. And Satan struck in vengeance. The blow of death fell Jesus. Like it's a whole boxing match. Like so freaking creative.
I know.
That I think that influenced us a lot to like have that in our childhood of hearing the stories.
Yes, and
that it wasn't just about Jesus. It was
stellar
always
music videos. Though
the music videos.
He had stellar music videos, and I can't explain. I mean, you'd have to Google Carmen and have to look up something like No Monsters or Sunday School Rock. Those were classics. But I think what was so cool about it is, like, one of his songs would say, like, I love Jesus.
I love Jesus.
You love Jesus.
You love Jesus.
We love Jesus.
We love Jesus.
How about
yeah!
And it was so dang cool. And when you would hear the auditorium of people, like, screaming and almost, in a sense, fangirling over Jesus, but not like weird, but like being so proud to be a Christian and just enjoying it and
making
not
it feel real and not like church-like.
Yeah, and
really
I think
cool.
that's what made his movement so strong. And guys, we were like, okay, story time. He just appeared in Vegas after many years. Carmen has been battling with cancer. He is no longer in the music industry because I think there was some backlash within the Christian community. He did a secular movie. And a lot of Christians got upset about that, which that's what draws the line where me and Hannah believe, as in, we don't agree with people like that who, say, oh, you can never do secular, you can never, and, some Christians are like that, unfortunately. And for Carmen, that backlashed against him, and a lot of people didn't agree with his secular kind of way because he was just trying to reach out to more people, which great, that's awesome, but people didn't agree. And he kind of fell off the map for a bit, and he has now battled with cancer. But he was doing like a special appearance at a church and he was going to talk about Jesus. And I was like, yes, I'm there. I want to go see Carmen again. And he played his little songs with like a metronome track. And I was like the only one that was like freaking out. Like he was
my
the Beatles.
Childhood. Yeah.
I was so excited to sing those songs again and just be like Christian rock kind of.
Yeah.
And everyone's looking at me like, who is this young girl? Like freaking out. And then he had a meet and greet, and I didn't even care. And because I'm not one to just be like hug everybody unless like you're really connected, I feel, very shy about that. But I didn't care. I ran up straight to Carmen and I gave him the biggest hug. And I was like, I'm your biggest fan. And he was like, whoa, okay. And I was like, no, you don't understand. Like, I need to tell you.
You have crazy eyes. You don't understand. Like, you were like my childhood. And I like sang you every day. And I watched all your videos.
All right, fast forwarding. We have to go fast.
Okay.
The one fandom to rule them all.
Yes.
Is the Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
The Lord of the Rings is our fandom and will always be our fandom. Put it on my tombstone. Lord of the Rings is the best trilogy of all time. Of all time. The best books, the best movies, flat out, I will argue
and
that.
And we have to say thank you to our uncle.
Uncle Toby.
Who said, I want to take you to go see this movie. We had no idea. We're like, Lord of the Rings, what does that mean? Like, we didn't even know there was a book. Hilly was like 11 years old.
Yep.
I was only 14.
Yep.
And we sat down and we watched the movie, totally captivated by it. Had no idea. I'm like, why does he have big feet? What's going on? And my friend leaned over, Sean, and he's like, oh, is this where they go to like the Lone Mountain with the dragon? He was on The Hobbit.
The Lone Mountain. That's what he called it. It's the Lonely Mountain.
I know, but he called it the Lone Mountain.
Yeah, that's
and we were like,
about it.
what? And I'm thinking like Vegas Lone Mountain. I was all like confused. And then we were like, what? And then all of a sudden it's like, we may yet, Mr. Frodo. We may. Sam, I'm glad you're with me.
And they
wow, what a
into
good
the
movie.
distance.
And then it's like,
credits.
I'm like, what? Whoa. And my uncle's like, yeah, there's 3 movies. There's like 2 more movies. This is like a trilogy. And we were like so upset. We were so caught up in the story that we were like, are you kidding me? And from that moment on,
it was like a ricochet. I was pulled back tight in my slingshot and shot out into, I want to be a filmmaker or an actress. Like I was flying full force, 100 miles an hour. We recreated the Lord of the Rings on film, which maybe someday you guys would see.
It's absolutely terrible.
Horrible, but that's how crazy we were over the Lord of the Rings, that we loved it so much, and we had already been making movies and little sketches, that it wasn't just like, hey, let's just do a spinoff. It was, I just want to do what they did because I just want to do it and be a hobbit. Like it was, I just wanted to do it.
And so literally, I think it took 3 years of our life.
We watched the behind the scenes.
To
see how they filmed.
And Hilly said, I think we can do it too. I don't know why me being so dumb as an old bird sitting was like, yeah, we could do it too. Like, I don't know what are you talking about? You crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And like we literally 3 years of our life recreated the first film of Lord of the Rings. I'm not kidding you. The first film. And maybe someday we will show you, but it's absolutely horrendous and so hilarious at the same time because we were legit trying.
Yeah, we thought we did good. We thought our costumes were A's. We thought our makeup was the bomb.com.
So for Hobbit hair, for example, we didn't have wigs. So we would take our hair
up in a ponytail,
throw it up on top of our head,
and then pin
and
it.
make the bangs and bobby pin it so that we had Hobbit hair.
We should do a Hobbit hair tutorial. Don't have a wig, though. We have a solution for you.
Don't worry. Don't even have to spend money.
And we would have the rubber band hole on top of our head.
Yeah, and we'd have this hole. That's where the ponytail split to make all the hair come around.
For Hobbit feet, I used dishwashing gloves. And I didn't care to paint them nude because, hobbits have yellow feet. So I put these on our feet and I cut toenails out of paper and I glued toenails on.
On the fingers, mind you. By the way,
I stuffed the fingers with cotton balls so that the fingers weren't floppy.
So the toes were like 10 inches long.
Yeah, the toes were super long. And we would brush out our hairbrush and grossly pull the hair and grossly glue them with Elmer's glue to the top of the
glove
thing. To make the sword sound effects.
Because we had battles.
And we didn't have an editing system back then. So we would, if there was music, we would have a stereo on
like
a boom box and we'd press play when they would say action. And as cut, we would stop it the music could continue into the next scene. And when we'd have sword fighting, because we had wood swords, we would hit a spoon and a fork together off camera to go like ting, 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 to try to sync it up. Oh my gosh.
It's absolutely
It
horrendous.
is a nightmare. Okay, so going into what, if you thought we were really crazy about Lord of the Rings then, wait until you see what's next in Hilly's chapter. So again, AOL, thanks AOL. No, I'm not sponsored by them, but you would think I was. AOL put out a contest for, I think it was 13 to 18, that if you entered a contest, you could win a chance to go to New Zealand on the red carpet to interview the cast of The Lord of the Rings for the Return of the King premiere. I about crapped my pants, more like. And this was my contest. I got this. I dressed up as Pippin in my yellow gloves with my Pippin outfit that we've been filming with the scarf that was like 12,000 miles long down to my crotch because no one knew how to cut a crocheted scarf. And the rules were you had to interview an inanimate object because they wanted to see how good your interview skills were. So I didn't really know what to interview for a while, but then I decided, all right, I'm going to make it look like I'm on the red carpet and I want to interview Ian McKellen. So I ordered a half standee.
Yeah, it was only like his
it's from his chest.
No, like upper chest up.
Chest up of Gandalf. And I had my dad buy the biggest mushroom he could find at Vaughn's.
Because was your microphone.
That was going to be Pippin's microphone. Because Pippin is obsessed with mushrooms. Gotta get it right, folks. So the video starts with me standing on my mother's red dress. So that it looks like the red carpet.
Was it like a silky, red dress? I think it was.
It was velvet. So it was all bubbled. And you scan up to me and I go, oh, hello. Do you remember that?
It was like the weirdest accent.
It was like a pirate accent. It was nothing to...
It was not like
Scottish at all. It sounded like Mexican pirate. I was like, oh, hello. We got Ian McKellen and there he is. And I beep-bopped over to him and I did that little sequence. I mailed in the video. Kid you not, somehow this kid landed in top 5. I don't know how. I landed. The voting went live on the internet. My poor dad, he was so sweet. He worked at an airport at the time as a police officer, and he would go around handing strangers print out photos that he got from the Photoshop of a picture of me saying, please vote for my daughter, go to this website, because the rules were you could only vote once. Which made the contest so much better, because honestly now with The Voice and all these other contests, America's Got Talent, it's just like a popularity contest of who can sit and hit their phone as many times as they want. And that's not fair. One person for their favorite. That's all you get, folks. Sorry. That's my tea for today. And so I won.
I just remember that I won. The contest had gone out.
Yeah.
We were hoping Hilly would win. It was up against a couple other, 4 other people. And I remember the morning I was sleeping in my bed and they said you would get a call
from
this day.
Manhattan, New York.
You'd get a call this day to let you know if you had won or not. Yeah. So it wasn't like a call that you're like, oh my God.
I'll let you continue. I'll let you continue. The night before, I opened my Bible.
Oh, I remember.
And in my little heart, I had so much faith back then. I mean, as you get older, your faith isn't as strong because life happens. And so you don't have as much strong faith because you're like, eh.
And you were 13.
I was 13. And I pray and I go, Lord, give me a scripture about tomorrow if I'm going to either, be disappointed, just, comfort me, tell me what's going to, in a sense, happen tomorrow as a premonition. So I opened it, and I think it was Isaiah 42. And it said something like, I have chosen you, my faithful servant, and you, something in a sense, you will rejoice.
You will be on mountaintops and
soar on wings of eagles. And I was like,
the Lord of the Rings.
So I ran down to my mom's room and was like, Mom, I think I'm going to win. And my mom, she's like, well, let's talk about faith and what it means. Sometimes Jesus isn't a genie. So you can't wish on Jesus. You have to just pray. And maybe, she didn't want to break my heart. Oh, and you had to get passports made. Even though you didn't win, you had to go get
they said you had to have a passport because if you win, you're leaving in 3 days.
God, and my dad had to pay $300 to get our passports expedited.
Because we all said, if Hilly wins, you ain't going without us.
And I had so much faith I was going to win that I was like, please, Papa, I'm going to win. And he went and got the passports.
And you spent $300.
Anyway, so the morning of, you woke up.
I was laying in my bed and I heard the phone ring.
Yes.
And I hear my Hilly going, Manhattan, New York, Manhattan, because we had caller ID. So we knew, I remember I was sleeping, I went,
oh my God.
And my eyes shot open because I was like, oh, they're calling. And it was early. It was 7 something in the morning. And I hear, hello? Yes. Yeah, Hilly's here. Hold on. And I hear, hello? And I Hilly's voice is all tremory, and I hear, are you serious? I did? She starts crying. I whipped off my covers. I flew in there with my hair crazy in my pajamas, and I'm like, did you win? And Hilly's
I was
bawling.
Sobbing.
And my mom's like, oh my gosh. She's like, yeah. My mom's nodding, and I was like, ah! I mean, I lost it because I didn't get the prize. Unfortunately, I was 17, and you had to be 18 or older to go as a guardian on the red carpet. And I was like...
So she couldn't do it.
So I couldn't be there, but I knew I was going to New Zealand. I was so excited for you because I was like, oh my God, Lord of the Rings.
And that was a big... To me, that's one of my God stories because I do feel like that night something was premonition and kind of told to me. So
I think I'm going to win.
Yeah, I was like on a high. And then we went to New Zealand. We dressed like hobbits. We went on a tour. We took pictures. We recreated photos.
We tried to recreate scenes on the actual location.
Yeah, with our video camera. And that was just so magical. I mean, it still feels like a dream. Like, did that actually ever happen? And then when I was on the red carpet, they said you're only going to interview maybe 1 or 2 stars. And rumor went around, like this little 13-year-old from Las Vegas is on the red carpet. She's a winner and she's interviewing. And that prompted a lot of the publicity the publicist to bring them to me. So
because you were so young.
Instead of one person, I met the entire cast, including Peter Jackson, and I had no questions prepared. So all the interview questions are so childlike and so cute. Like I asked,
how did you like your costume?
I asked Viggo Mortensen, so did you fall in love with your sword? But I think it made them, very genuine with me, and they were all so kind. I went to the after party. We watched The Return of the King in Peter Jackson's theater with the president of Summit Entertainment, and that wasn't supposed to happen, but they thought I was super cute, and they're like, hey, you want to come along? And I was like, F yeah!
Yep.
And then Mom fell asleep during that screening because she was jet lagged severely.
My mom fell asleep in the actual theater, like the moment.
She was head bobbing, and my dad was like grabbing her by the hair,
and
like,
it was
stop!
and it was like the part with Shelob. And it's like, dun, 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 dun. We're all like, oh my God. And there's my mom falling asleep in the chair. We're like, Mom, wake up.
And Hannah was in the crowd. She wasn't with me, which is heartbreaking.
But I was with Mom, and we were like near it, but we weren't near the red carpet. We were like further out. And I saw on a big screen, they had big screens that people were filming, and they were showing the red carpet from a really high angle, helicopters. And at one point, I saw the back of your little bun.
Oh my God.
Because Hillary wanted to wear a bun on the red carpet.
That's all I wore back then, folks. Buns.
Buns and braces.
Oh, yeah. And hairy eyebrows. Yikes.
And I saw the back of her bun, and you were talking to Billy Boyd. And I was I got so excited. I go, Mom, she's talking to Billy Boyd. It's her favorite character. And we were like hugging each other, and we were so happy.
Yeah, because it meant so much to me.
I had no clue that you had met everyone because like the camera had caught that. And the only person I saw was Ian McKellen, and he saw this sad group of people that was like shunned from looking at the red carpet down the way. Yeah. And he leaned over and he moved everyone out of the way, and he waved his little hat at us and took it off. And I was like, yeah, Gandalf. Like I was freaking out. I was so excited. And I saw Peter Jackson's hair. Like that's all I saw was the top of his hair because it's like, really wavy and crazy.
Oh my God. And then funny story though. Oh, I don't know if I should tell it.
What?
I don't know because it's like I'm getting off topic.
What's so off topic? Is it Lord of the Rings based?
Yes, it's that from that day.
Okay.
Because I got a second viewing of The Return of the King. Me and my dad went to a public theater with like press people. The first day was when we were with the president of Summit Entertainment, and that was super exclusive. I sat in like Hugo Weaving's chair. Hugo Weaving, you were in Liv Tyler's chair. It was very strange, but very cool. So we went to a theater and we were watching it again, and it was on the scene where King Theoden dies. Spoiler alert. If you haven't watched Lord of the Rings by now, I'm sorry, you're missing out.
Eowyn.
Yeah, he's dying, and I'm sitting in the theater with my dad, and I go, and I feel like wet on my butt. And I sat there and I went, oh my God, like what's going on? And all I could think of was because it was cold in New Zealand, I had one of those like therapeutic heat wraps on my little back because back then I was like maybe 80 pounds and like super thin, and that would keep me warm. And I go, maybe I'm sweating. Like what's going on?
And then
I go, Papa. And I'm whispering, and he goes, what? It's like quiet in the theater. I go, I'm all wet. And he goes, what? He looked at me with a raised eyebrow and a strange expression. I go, Like, I go, I'm soaked. Like, the seat is soaked. And then I started panicking, going, figures if I'm out here in New Zealand, now my body's like deciding to slowly die or something, and now I'm just peeing myself. And I didn't feel it happen. And you know how your brain just spirals because you don't know what's going on. You're like, is it a health problem? Did I just pee my pants? Like, what's going on? And he reached down and like tried to feel, and it was soaked, and he pulled up and looked at me with like a shocked face, and he's like, did you just pee? And I was like, no. And like, we basically figured out, while people are kind of turning around now looking at us because we're making such a hullabaloo, that my water bottle was opened and it had fallen behind my chair, and it had completely soaked the chair. And so I went to the after party with a soaked bottom half of my dress. Soaked.
I remember that story.
Uh-huh. And I mean,
and get this.
What?
You went... took tons of pictures with all the actors.
Oh, but this is such a damper.
I know, but this is the story. So, like, every person, she got, like, a picture with everyone.
Everybody.
Like, Tall Paul, if you guys know who Tall Paul is by watching behind the scenes. Like, I mean, just the deepest of the deep.
Yeah.
And
everybody.
Pictures, and Ian McKellen told you have stars in your eyes tonight after you met him.
Well, yeah, I met him. I saw him there, and I was asking everyone for a photo.
Everyone.
And after they were done eating, of course. And I tapped him on the shoulder, and he turned around. I go, can I get a picture? And he goes, yes, of course. And he took a picture, and then after that, he spun around, and he stooped down towards me. He kind of squinted his eyes, and he looked, and he was staring at me, and I'm just like, big smiles. And he goes, you have stars in your eyes, and one day you'll be among them. And I was like, yeah, for those of you who aren't watching, again, if you're not watching this video, you're missing out on the expressions, but I was awe-inspired. And he straightened back up, and he winked at me, and he walked away. And I hope
I've carried that.
I hope that quote will just follow me wherever I go.
Yeah, and we got home after our long trip, and
after everyone feels warm and fuzzy inside from this whole conversation, we then learned that our chip with all of our photos had snapped, and we lost all the photos.
But the memories live on.
The memories are very vivid
and that's
now.
why it's so important, I think, to even in today with all of our phones, and I got to get a picture, I got to post it to Instagram. It's like, yeah, take a picture, but then put it down.
And
because you have to soak up those moments.
I want to test out our listeners and our viewers too. I want you to, in a sense, think of an event that you've been to, whether it be a concert or whatever, and yes, you have pictures, but realize now that you can only remember the event through your video or through your pictures. And think of an event that you weren't at, that you didn't have your camera, and how much more vivid those memories are. That is what I stand on, and that's what I've learned with the Lord of the Rings event, and I've never lost those after-party memories because now I have no visual cue to help. Now my brain it's like thoroughly relied on that saved disc in the back of my brain. Like, never forget. And it forces you to be in the moment, not just see yourself, and now you're viewing yourself. Yeah, we can talk about the brain and how it works later because that is very fascinating. But that is why we are obsessed with the Lord of the Rings.
Right. And we're going to be opening it up to some calls soon. Hopefully the phone lines work again. They worked last time. So we hope they work again.
Kudos, Shun.
I remember another Lord of the Rings. See, guys, I'm sorry.
It's one fandom to rule them all.
Yes.
I can't help it.
We sat down after seeing the first movie and read the Lord of the Rings together.
Oh, my God.
And as we read it, though, it wasn't... No. See, Hilly and Hannah are weird like this.
We would sit down
simple. And we would read for like 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
And we'd sit there, and we wouldn't open the book, and I'd be like, and then Frodo, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, hold on a minute. We're characters. We would act out verbally and vocally every character. So when it came to... Treebeard.
Yeah.
We would literally read it that slow. And we had to be Treebeard.
We had a voice for the narrator.
Yeah.
So we were like, and then the fellowship surpassed past the mountains, and we were across the heather skirt of all those weird Tolkien. He'd call like the bottom of a hill the heather, and that like confused us. We were like, what's the heather? And so we were like, and then Legolas looked afar,
and we would laugh too because we'd be so serious. Cause and then he came amongst the redhead. And it sounded like we'd be listening to an audio recording.
Finish it. We couldn't pronounce some words. But then as we carried on, it would say, and then Legolas stood and said, "They're taking the hobbits to Isengard," and then we would change our voice.
Yes,
So
and we had to we had designated characters for each other,
and we would share the narrator though. Every other paragraph,
it would be a paragraph.
And then if I read a short one, you would flip the page and you go, "Oh boy!" And you would sigh.
Have like 2 sentences, new paragraph, and it was like 2 pages of like the same paragraph, and I'd be like. And then the fellowship went down the steep ravine to the misty mountains and blah blah blah. And I go, and then they went to and then they went to
No, I remember when we got to the Council of Elrond chapter, you would read it, and you I think had Elrond. And you were so going long. And you're like, the ring cannot be destroyed, and you're going about all the lore and all the the beginnings.
How the ring came to be.
And as you're reading, you go like, and Sauron would take up. Oh my God! Sauron would take up, and it was so funny. And I remember I would cry laughing because it sounded like Elrond was getting tired of his own speech. He's like, you're like. It did. Because it was like,
my God, I gotta tell this story again.
It was like literally like, and he forged the ring into Mordor, where its powers lie deep and dark within, and the orcs in his fortress was, oh my God! And then you would continue. It's so funny. Oh yeah,
and we read all the books like that,
all of them.
Wait! I have to go into the songs.
The songs?
Because the Lord of the Rings has songs, and it's like, the songs that you hear. And
the road goes
ever on and on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like when these songs would come up, it'd be something that you don't hear in the Lord of the Rings, but they had songs, and we had like this church
We
tune.
had the same tempo.
We had like the same tempo.
Like, let's just say if it's like row, row, row your boat, we would sing like, the Shire is the place for our little feet. Down the mountain they will go to, we will blah, blah, blah. Like, we would take the same tune and apply it, because Tolkien didn't leave any, like, notes. Like, there was no, like, chords on how this song was sung. So it's up to your imagination. Like, the elves have 2 pages of a song, and you're like, so we would be like, the Lament for Gandalf was, row, row, row your boat, basically.
Yeah, it was some, like, church tune.
We didn't have a guide.
Yeah. Oh my God. And we would laugh, too, because that was funny to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, that was, whew. Like, I'm sorry, I'm laughing so hard because, like, I haven't talked about this in ages.
But Lord of the Rings is our favorite to date because that inspired me to be who I am today. Mm-hmm. The contest encouraged me to follow my dreams, to not give up. We learned so much about filmmaking thanks to the extended edition behind the scenes, which are about 2 hours, 3 hours long of nonstop B-roll of information. Because, like, even now when you open a DVD, they're like, we have behind the scenes. I'm like, no, you don't.
Like, this isn't behind the scenes.
You're, like, literally showing a camera and someone's like, yeah, it was great playing this character. And you're like, great. Like, The Lord of the Rings was literally, like, how we made Shelob from scratch. What spiders did we study to decide why?
What sound effects was she going to be?
The concept artist, right. The location scouting. Like, we did not know that information until we watched The Lord of the Rings.
Or the nightmares that happened, or the how you would have to reset to redo. Like, the lava that they did was bizarre. Mm-hmm. I just rewatched some of them, and I was like, oh, my gosh. And to do the CG, they had more power needed. I can't quite explain it, but something like to the fact of the computers wouldn't work fast enough to render.
Yeah, because back then
they had more rendering power than NASA to get the Return of the King to be done on time with as many graphics back then as
because they didn't have computers like we have now. They had still one core processor.
Yeah.
And they had to do, I think they said like, there was some like absurd over 100,000 frames of CG in like one battle scene, and I was like, holy Toledo. And there's only a group of maybe like 4 or 5 of them working at a time, and it's just so inspiring to watch that team. And that, I believe, is the attitude that we've taken today with how we treat our crew, with how we want to keep it very close to home, very organic. Because sometimes when you get too many people working, it's too many cooks in the kitchen, you lose that heartbeat. And we've seen that in some, new movies that come out, and you're like, oh, that just didn't seem like it was from the heart. So Peter Jackson is a major hero in our hearts, and it was such a big fandom for us.
So thanks, Peter, for inspiring this one and taking me on the journey of the Hillywood show.
Yes, and taking you to New Zealand. Excuse you.
Yes.
Excuse you. Do you remember the flight to New Zealand? How we couldn't sleep a wink because we were so excited.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I remember also that we got really bad turbulence and Mom started freaking out.
Uh-huh.
You remember that?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like totally, like the worst turbulence I've ever experienced.
Mm-hmm. But then we have to do another episode where we talk about the Hobbit parody and the Lord of the Rings parody. Those were a dream come true to work on, especially the Lord of the Rings parody, because that's when we actually had a nice camera.
Uh-huh.
Nice
oh my gosh,
camera.
yeah.
We had better sets. The Hobbit was the Hobbit. We can go into that. But to do something so close to home meant a lot to us, and that's why the Lord of the Rings parody is a little bit more emotional than our other parodies, because it's a little bit more special.
Lord of the Rings is deep.
So yeah, guys, leave some comments too. We want to hear from you. What were some of your favorite fandoms, not only from childhood, but where you've landed now? And let's see how those two correlate. The Lion King and the Lord of the Rings. Not
la 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 la. Lion King.
Maybe we just like
Lord of the Rings.
the L's. We have a call, I believe. All right, we're going to go straight to the phone lines. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Who is this?
This is Dwight. How are you? Who is this?
This is Hilly. Hi. How are you,
this is
Dwight?
Hannah.
It's both of you guys. How wonderful is that?
Oh, it's good to have you for our listeners and for our viewers. This is Dwight, and he played an original Jack Sparrow in one of the Hillywood show's episode. He was the one who got shot, sadly, by a Terminator.
And he was also an extra in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, so Dwight, on our podcast today, we're discussing favorite fandoms. Can you talk a little bit about how you found Hillywood through, I guess, the Pirates of the Caribbean fandom? Is that correct?
You know what? I guess it was through MySpace back in the day.
Yeah, I think it was. I think we discovered him through MySpace.
Did we find you or you found us first?
You found me and contacted me and asked me to come do your show, which I was very proud to do.
Oh.
And apologies for that day. It was very hot outside.
Yeah.
I just remember
it was very hot, but it was a wonderful day as well.
Oh.
I just remember seeing a little, like your bandana slowly get darker and darker with sweat as the day went on.
The bandana got darker with sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of perspiration, not too bad.
So, Dwight, let me ask you, because you you were into the Jack Sparrow fandom. Like, let's talk about why you were into that fandom. What got you into portraying Johnny Depp in your own personal life as well? Let's talk about that a little bit.
You know, just kind of fell into it. I did a party one time for Halloween and fell into doing Jack Sparrow, and it just kind of fell into doing that. Met you guys, and the ball kept rolling.
Oh, and what were you a big Disney fan before Pirates of the Caribbean came out, or was this something that you saw in theaters and were like, holy crap, I love this movie?
Yeah, pretty much. I saw that, and I thought the character was really great, and I could pull that off, so I tried it and just did it and ran with it and had the best time doing it.
Oh, that's
Met
so
the best
cool.
People and friends. I tell you, doing the Jack Sparrow character and all that, I have met some of the best people I've had in my life.
Yeah, the fandom from the Pirates of the Caribbean and even the fandom from Johnny Depp are very, close. They have a close-knit family, you know?
Yeah.
Usually anyone, I know you know Jance, and Jance knows Ronnie, and Ronnie knows, everybody. I feel like everybody knows everybody in that system.
Everybody within that fandom has stayed very, very close. Actually, I think that's some of the oldest friends that we have.
And you guys still get together and you're enjoying your pirate life. Yo-ho.
Oh, always do, yeah. I do the whole reenactor thing. Doing the Jack Sparrow thing kind of dropped me into being in the whole pirate reenacting community, which is great.
That is so cool. That is awesome. Well, thank you, Dwight, for calling in and telling us a little bit about your Fandom stories and also for partaking in Hillywood.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing more of your Hillywood stuff.
Well, thank you. We hope to see you soon, Dwight.
We love you very much.
We love you guys. God bless you all, too.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
If you guys would like the chance to call in on our next episode, join patreon.com/Hillywood. Once you join, you get automatic access to the number here at the radio station so that we can call and talk to you guys. It'd be a lot of fun. So with that, I just remembered that before we end this podcast, excuse me, I have to get a drink of water.
We should have some water up here.
We never do.
Like a whole 45 minutes not drinking anything.
I know. I forgot about the obsession with VeggieTales. That was a huge thing.
Oh,
I don't know why it came to me.
Oh, my goodness.
I think it's because I was, thinking about what were big turning points in our life, and VeggieTales really got us hyped on lip syncing.
VeggieTales and another huge fandom for me, and it was like Caleb, who's one of our crew members, was The Land Before Time. And we had the dinosaurs, like all the toys of dinosaurs. That was like a whole nother thing. But we've been pretty particular. Like we've never just been like, oh, everything, It's like, okay, the dinosaurs, Batman, Lion King, Lord of the Rings. Like,
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the
Rings
much.
trumps them all. I'm sorry.
Of course.
I'm sorry because I know Shun is a huge Star Wars fan.
Sorry, Shun.
And
sorry to the rest of you.
I feel like I'm breaking his heart every time I just keep saying it's the best, but it is. It's the best. It's the best. He's like, it is not the best. He's like a Jedi mind trick on me. It is not the best. We have, I think, another call before we have to end this podcast.
Yes. All right. I'm excited to talk to the next person. This has been really
fun.
Yeah. I love talking
I like
about
reflecting on the Lord of the Rings.
Gosh, that's crazy.
We really have to show our viewers the actual film somehow. I don't know how we can do it, but I think it's
pretty
really
hilarious.
Fun. Yeah. All right. Caller, are you there?
Hello? I am.
Hello, caller. This is Hilly and Hannah.
Hi.
Hi, who is this?
This is Steve from Utah.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
How are you?
We're great. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome.
Good.
So my question for you was, at what point does a fandom turn into a parody?
Oh
boy. At what point it's called the Hillywood show?
I think that's what caused us to do parodies is because we were such big fans. It goes down to we can't get enough of this fandom, so let's just pretend we're the characters and let's put on this otherworldly, place of events and a tongue-in-cheek take on something that fans have never seen before from this universe. And, I mean, that's what we still have been doing till this day. We enjoy something so much that we want to do now a tribute or a parody to it. But, of course, Hillywood style. But because when we were younger, Steve, all we would do if we were obsessed with, let's just say, The Wizard of Oz, we would just recreate The Wizard of Oz. Like, it wouldn't be a parody. It wouldn't be a spinoff. It was like, let's just recreate it in my parents' living room and pretend we're the characters. With a yellow sheet on the floor. Like, it was horrible.
For the yellow brick road.
Horrible. And, that's what's helped us establish who the Hillywood show is today is, these influences and magical worlds that we can bottle up and package into a little Hillywood present. That's where we live. That's where our happy place is.
That's awesome. We love everything you do. Thank you very much for what you guys do.
Thank you, Steve, for calling in, and thanks for supporting us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
And with that lovely last call, we will end this podcast here, because if not, we will keep talking about the Lord of the Rings.
We'll just keep going
about the score, about the special effects, how they were better than they are even now on movies today.
We know it so much to the fact I could easily tell Hilly, like, do the Edoras theme, do the Lothlorien theme, do the Shire theme, and we can go into the music immediately.
Immediately.
What is that from?
Immediately.
All girls to the auditorium immediately.
Parent Trap?
No.
Shoot.
Oh, I'm going to leave that with Hilly, and it's going to drive her nuts all day.
No, because you can't leave it with the viewers. It's not fair. Immediately, all parents, and they're screaming in the rain? That sounds like Parent Trap.
It's not the rain.
They're screaming.
It's close.
I don't know.
Oh, come on, Hilly.
It's gone. It's gone. I don't even feel like trying. It's gone.
That is the ugliest skirt I've ever seen.
Is it Mean Girls?
Yes.
No, that's not what I was talking about. I have another immediately. I have another one that goes like immediately, and like they repeat it. I don't know. You guys help me out with that one. I'm quoting some weird cartoon or movie.
Oh my gosh.
Just
Hilly.
like the ready, smash him. Sorry.
All right. Sorry. This is like sister time. We're going off into something else.
We love you guys. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you next time on another episode of Beyond Hillywood.
Bye.
Is this the end of Hillywood? Will Hilly and Hannah survive? Tune in next time to hear another episode of...
You're doing it again.
Oh, sorry. Beyond Hillywood is listener supported. Join patreon.com/Hillywood to contribute to help Hillywood live on.